Do you want to be faster? Today we'll go through a well-proven training method on how to become faster and more explosive. One of the first questions is, when can I start to work with plyometrics training? And there the advice is mainly from age around something like 12 up to 14, when the kids are starting to come in puberty. If you start too early, it will be some kind of injury risk, because especially the eccentric phase is really, it's a tough thing to do. So recommendation, when the kids start to come in puberty, please add the plyometrics training. And when you do this, we need to know that we're actually connecting to the type 2 muscle fiber, the ones that's fast. And that means always when we work with plyometric, we try to do the movement fast also, and we try to do it in few repetitions. The worst thing with plyometrics training is when you do too many repetitions. That connects the type 1 fiber, the fiber that's actually make your conditioning better, that makes you slow. So we want to make just a few repetitions, and we want to make the things very fast. Okay guys, we're gonna go through some steps. Actually, we divide it in 5 different steps to make sure that the plyometric is safe and not creating any injuries. And the first step to work with when you start with kids is the coordination jumps, or skipping rope is an excellent thing to do. So Fredrik, skipping rope, and I want you to show just a few, 5, 6, 7 different exercises in how to connect. And make sure that the ground contact is very, very fast. So never bounce like a bull. Short bounce without making any sounds. And you can make some show. Maybe double jump, yes. Okay, thank you. Okay, so this was step number 1. And let the kids already in early age start with this kind of jumps. You can do it as a warm-up, or even like a little coordination or conditioning training, for example. But just to get the feeling, the bouncing, okay? So the first step was the skipping rope, and let the kids work with that one. Use it, I think you can do it almost every training. Perfect warm-up also before tournaments. So the next step is jumping up, maybe on a, as we have here, a box, but it can also be jumping up on a table, or you can create your own ideas. But the good part with this, and the reason why this kind of jump is very good for the body, because you don't have the eccentric phase. The eccentric phase is the toughest one, especially for the knees, the ankles, the back. So when we do the jump on the box, you can deliver full power and try to jump as high as possible. And make sure that you don't jump the way back. Make sure you just step down, okay? So Fredrik, you can show some box jump. This was without using the arms, but you can also use the arms if you want. Boom, bouncing, and just take a step, always take a step, and jump, 1, and take a step. And as you can see, you only have the concentric phase, you don't have the eccentric phase. Step number 3 is side jumps with both feet, and of course you can start with maybe the zigzag hop. Fredrik, you can show, but make, yes, perfect, and you can do it backwards. And please make sure that the ground contact is fast. And if it's really big bounces, then you don't really have a short ground contact. But it can also be just moving here, Fredrik, and facing the camera. Just side jumps, just side to side, and chuk, chuk. And you can make those longer also, but with low ground contact, okay? The key point with the plyometric is to have short ground contact. And as I said, these ones, this is a little harder than the first 2 steps, since it's tearing the knees and the ankles and the hips a little more. Okay, in the fourth step is actually we do the long jump or the bouncing high jump. For example, we can use hurdles. But the first one, SLH, you can show the exercise. You jump as far as possible. Okay, here you have both eccentric and concentric movement. Okay, first the concentric, then the eccentric. Okay, go, boom. And you can change direction, and you can also do this directly. Okay, pam, pam. Okay, so you can also do the same kind of jump. The fourth step is still you can jumping over hurdles, and here you're searching, bring the knee up, don't take the heels backwards, the knees up, and short ground contact. Okay, you jump. Oh, yes, you can show one more time. The knees up and short ground contact. Okay, so this is step number 4. Step number 5. This will be much tougher for the body. And I see many people directly jump to this one because especially in sport like Taekwondo, where we use a lot of one leg, kicking and jumping, but this part is really tearing on the body. It's jumping on one leg. And even there, you can start with the first phase. You can start with jumping on with the skipping rope on one leg, different exercises. You can do jumping up on a box or some kind of table or something with one leg. And you can do also the side jumps with one leg. You can even do this long jump with one leg, or even jumping over shorter hurdles with one leg. So this is step number 5, working with one leg jump. And if you're prepared on this and you're growing a little older, you're turning 16, 17, the muscles, the stability is there, I think you can actually move even to the sixth step, and that is what we call drop jumps. When you jump from a high ground and you go to the ground and you deliver a jump. So we can show maybe 1 or 2 different exercises, Fredrik, if you bring the box. But this is very tough for the knees, for the feet, and for the back especially. Okay, so Fredrik stand on one box, you're looking this way. He will just take a short step out and he catch himself and directly respond with a jump. Okay, so take an easy step and you jump. Okay, and think of the ground contact. So Fredrik, when you go, you try to directly switch. Where we have this signal that we're working on plyometric training. The change from eccentric movement to concentric movement. Okay, take a short step and a high jump. This is perfect. Okay, and also you can go even work with drop jumps. This is one way also. You can go down and you jump forward. This can be another example, and jump as long as possible. Down and jump. So this one is very demanding, and the higher you jump from, the tougher the jump. The grande finale and how to wrap it up with the plyometric training. Jumping training is excellent, and I think it should be a completely standard for all kind of sportsmen that really want to have explosive or better power. I think you can put it in a regular training session or in a non-specific sports program. For example, you go to the gym and you do a lot of jumping movements. But make sure that you make it safe. You start with step number 1, and then after some years, you try to move the steps further and further. So in the end, when you're little grown up, you can do actually all 6 variations of the plyometric training. Also, as I told in the beginning, you need to make it faster and longer. This is the way to be more explosive. And remind yourself that when you do the jumping, you can never be tired. Directly when you be tired, you connect to the slow muscle fibers, the type 1 fibers, and you always want to stay with the fast ones, the type 2 fibers. So my recommendation in repetitions, maybe when you do jumps, you do 4, 5, 6, maximum 8, 10 jumps. Never get like that. Okay, thanks for today, and keep training hard.